have our dandelion roots harvested. We've taken the greens off, the flowers. It's just the roots in here. And we are going to soak these down with some water and give them a quick rinse. Just some cold water. I'm just going to spray it right in there. And we're going to let these rinse off real good. So as you can see, it's pretty dry here. So these are going to clean up pretty easy. But if you're in a real muddy area, then it's going to be harder to get it off. Okay, so we're just going to squish these around in here. And we are going to dump this water out. I'm going to throw these. Okay, so you can see these are still a little bit dirty. The mud likes to hang on, but we're just pulling our roots out of the water, and then we're going to rinse our bucket out and put a vinegar water in there so they can soak. Throw these in a bowl because they fit in a bowl, and we're just going to kind of push them all down, and we're going to put them in enough water that will cover them all. Just kind of push those roots down. I'm going to put some cold water in there. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white vinegar, about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3. I don't really measure, we're just kind of pouring it in. But then we're going to let these soak for a couple hours, and I'm going to go get something else done because, you know, multitasking. Oh, okay, so after soaking these in vinegar and water, they look about like this. A lot of the dirt comes off in the bottom. They have tons of little hairs on them, and I started taking the little hairs off, and all I'm doing is like peeling back these little hairs. These little hairs hold a bunch of dirt, and they kind of crisp up when you're roasting them. So I just pull them right off. We don't need those. And again, chickens, compost, put them out on the front lawn for wild birds, anything. But once you get those little hairs off, it really makes a difference in how clean they are. So if you just run it under water like that, and it's really like pretty clean. So we're just going to put this in a bowl, and we're going to move it around until the water runs clean. And that way we know we've got all the dirt off these roots. So, and if we are seeing anything in the water, we'll pour that right out. And we just want to get these nice and clean. This is the hardest part of the whole process. If you can get the big long, if you find the big really long roots that are straight, like one big long piece, sometimes you'll find them, they're nice and long. Like this one's kind of short, but they won't have any little hairs on them hardly at all. And this one big long piece, those are awesome and much easier to deal with. But this is what I have available, and this is what I'm using. Okay, so my water looks nice and clean when I pour it out. So we're going to start chopping these up. Alright, so now we've got our dandelions. They're all cleaned up. And we're just going to take these, our root pieces, we're going to take these and just chop them up. And we're going to put them on a pan. We're just going to chop them small. Really small pieces. We're going to roast these in the oven and get them all dried out, and roasting them gives them a really nice flavor. So we just take a couple of these at a time. I want to make sure if you see anything on them, just pull it off. These are pretty clean. Washing them really is the hardest part, getting all that dirt off, because it really loves to stick in the roots, and those little hairs just hang right onto that dirt. So this is just be careful with your fingers when you're cutting. You can grate these if you have bigger pieces. You can grate these up, and or I like to cut them. I'm not very good with a grater. I tend to grate my fingers, and that's no fun. And I'm gonna eat my fingers. So we're just gonna finish chopping these up, and we're gonna lay them out on a baking sheet, and I'll be right back to show you the next part. So we have these all chopped up. We got them spread out. Try to get them as even as possible, and in a single layer. And we are going to pop these babies in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 200 degrees, and we are going to put these in to roast. We'll check them every 15 minutes. We'll give them a little stir and turn, and I'll get back to you when we're done. It's been about 15 minutes. You can see the water's still on the pan. We're just moving these around. I'm going to turn them up a little bit. Get them all turned over, and we're just going to let them keep going until they're nice and dry, and they'll have a nice, yummy, roasted flavor. Alright, so these have been roasting for about an hour, and they are all dried up and ready to use. So we will take this, we're going to let it get down to room temperature so there's no condensation in the bottle. And we're going to put this in a small mason jar and put it away in our pantry, so when we need some dandelion root for teas, we have it handy. And this will go us quite a while. Might get a little more. It's dried up pretty small. It shrinks right down when you dry it. But this is so good in your teas. You can put a little bit of this right in your teas. It's so yummy and good for you. So, and it's got a nice roasted flavor, so it's not quite so bitter, and it's making your own medicine. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.